Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
Okay, ma. So, see, in UPSC right now, we are getting more number of current affairs questions. So that is the trend which is going right now. Before that also we have lot of current affairs questions, but on the last year, the elimination option which is not over there, that question, if you know the exact answer, you can go for that options. So you see, let's start with this current affairs. See, we have some current affairs. Let's see how to approach these current affairs through the geographical way. You see this current affairs. Odisha gharial hatching spotted 3 years in a row, 35 seen this time. Oh, this is the current affairs right now. You see this? Let's see this. What is a gorge first? You see, when a river is flowing on a earth crust, it might have eroded that earth crust, so that deep channel which is called as gorge. Now you might have a doubt, sir, there is one more thing which is called as canyons, right? We have that canyon in USA that is called as Grand Canyon. You see, what is the base difference between gorge and canyon? You see, the gorge will make a deep valley. When a river is eroding, it will make a deep valley, that is called as gorge. But canyon means, by the same, the river erodes the crust, but you see a steep step like slight slopes will be there, that is called as canyon. You see this picture, this is gorge. You see, you have a steep valleys over on here, but you see in canyon that's not be there. So this is the base difference between gorge and canyon. But this gorge will create also by a river, this canyon which also create by the river. The base difference is the gorge will make a steep, but canyons are not. You see this canyon is different, gorges are different. You see, what is in that news? Satkosia Gorge, actually this is the gorge which is in eastern Odisha, and this gorge is carved by the Mahanadi river. If you see that Mahanadi river, in that Mahanadi river this gorge is located, and also it has this tiger reserve which is United Nations protected area, and also it got a Ramsar site during of this 2021, and this gorge of Satkosia Gorge, which is in Odisha, carved by the Mahanadi river, which is on the eastern Ghats, and it also established 1978 as a wildlife sanctuary. So these are the current events which we should know about when we are reading on this. Then after that, we should know about some of the gorges in the world. You see, in America we have some gorges. So in United States of America we have some gorges, and we should know about what are the rivers which carved that gorges. That is called as, one is Grand Canyon, which is by the Colorado River, and we have gorges of Finger Lakes, which is actually this Finger Lake which created by Lake Ontario. It is not by the river. And Columbia River Gorge, that is by the Deschutes River, and New River Gorge, which is by the New River, and Canyon Lake Gorge, which is by the Guadalupe River. So these are the some gorges, important gorges in United States of America. You see the gorges, more important gorges in China. Yangtze River of Three Gorge, which is by the Yangtze River, that also called as Changjiang. And Yerlang-Zangbu Grand Canyon, Yerlang-Zangbu Grand Canyon, that is Sangpu Canyon, and also it is called as Brahmaputra Canyon. This is by the Yerlang-Zangbu River. You know that the Brahmaputra River, which is called as Sangpu River in Tibet and also in China. So that they created of these canyon and gorges. And Nepal Kali Gorge. This is by the river which is called as Kali, and this is Kali, which is the tributary of Ganga. And when it comes to Uttar Pradesh, this Kali river which is called as Sharada. So there also we will that will create the gorge. In Africa, we have the gorge that is called as Victoria Falls Gorge, that is by the Zambezi River. And in Europe, that is in France, we have a gorge that is called as Gorge du Verdun, which is by the Verdun River. So these are the some things you should know about what is the difference of this gorge and as well as the canyon. That one of the gorge we studied in that Mahanadi River, that gorges which is in the eastern part. So that are the facts you should know about when you are reading that current affairs. Next, this is called as International Mount Everest Day. You see, we have n number of glaciers which are there in that Himalayan range. We already in geography class we studied about that Hisper Glacier, Biafu, Batura Glacier, Siachen Glacier, Aksai Glacier, Gangotri Glacier, Yamunotri Glacier, Sattopant Glacier. So these are some glaciers we studied when we are reading in that geography conventional area. In that Hindu Kush region, that is the home of 240 million people. So why we need to know these kind of facts? Yes, obviously, because there is no elimination option right now in that UPSC prelims. So we could know about of all these things. That is better, I think. So this is the region which is the home of 240 millions of peoples. And if you see that, quarter of the world population which depends the water that flows from its mountain. You see this? Because when the glaciers which are on the mountain, that glacier will create that rivers which are coming from that glacier. So that glaciers which are very important for the quarter of the people's world's population. So quarter of the people's and world's population. Then after that, you see this in that Kashmir Himalayan, we have a lot of peoples who are living over there. Champa, it's a tribes who are there in that great Himalayan ranges, and Ladakhi, Balti, and Dar. These are the peoples who are living there over in that Kashmir Himalaya, that is in the north of greater Himalayan ranges. Now, if you see this news, Pakistan and Afghanistan among global hunger hotspots. There is a United Nations report which came over there. But when we are approaching these kind of countries in geography, we should know about where is Pakistan and what the country which borders over Pakistan and Afghanistan. Look at here, ma. If, yes, this is the map of Pakistan. If you see that, in west it has Iran. Iran has the border with Pakistan. Then northwest you have Afghanistan. Then northeast over on here you have China. And the east and also to the southeast of Pakistan you will have India. So 4 countries which bordering Pakistan: Iran, Afghanistan, China, and as well as this India. If we come to this Afghanistan, Pakistan is at the border, then it has the border with India, then also with Tajikistan, then also with Uzbekistan, then with Turkmenistan, then with Iran. So we have 6 countries as the border with Pakistan. I'm sorry, countries have the border with Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. Then what is on the news? Then the next one, if you see on here, there is a polio eradication. Right now in Africa, 21 million children are to be vaccinated in Africa. That polio is right now which is emerging after this COVID. So what is in that news means, where it the polio eradication which is going on in Africa means, there is a place which is called as Lake Chand. In that surrounding countries of that Lake Chand, this program they are conducting over there. Right now, if you see this, you see the Lake Chand which is in Central Africa. You should know that clear-cut idea. Where is Lake Chand first? You see, it's not in north, south, east or west of Africa. It is in Central Africa. Then if you see that Lake Chandma, this Lake Chand has the border with 4 countries. You see that bordering countries, Chad, Cameroon, Niger and also this Nigeria. At the center you have this Lake Chad. First you should know about what is called as Sahel region in Africa. You see here you have that Saharan desert. Saharan desert is the largest desert, and the size of this Saharan desert which is more than United States of America, more than a country. And below this you have the Sudan type of climate over on here. In these places of Africa you have that Sudan type of climate. Sahel region is a region which is a transition between desert and as well as the Sudan. That's why this region which is a arid region, semi-arid region which is on this Africa. So this zone which is called as Sahelian zone or Sahel zone. If you see that Chad, this is in that place, that is in the central of Africa of this Sahel region, and this is the largest lake in that Sahel region of this Africa. But if you see that Lake Chad, there is a river, that river which is called as Chari river. This river provides 90% of the water to that lake, and also we have 10% of that water which comes from the Yobe river, that is in Nigeria, or coming from Nigeria and the Niger. So actually there is a country also there which is called as Chad, but the country which has the name that given by this Lake Chad. Then after that, in this particular place of this Lake Chad, while spirulina, that is the world's major producer of this in this place, and also we have lot of swampy and all these regions which are like this. Now this Lake Chad is shrinking over. The lake is disappearing right now. What the reason means? That is one thing is it is overusing, and we are not giving the time to replenish it, and also there is lot of theories over there. What is that? Some theories means that the surface temperature which is changing in the hemispheres, so that's why there is no rainfall pattern in these kind of region. Already it is in Sahel region. I told that Sahel, which is the transition of that desert and as well as Sudan type of climate. So between these you have that Sahel region, and this is the semi-arid region. So already you have a lack of rainfall over in these places, but because of this surface temperature changes, there you don't have that much of this kind of rainfall. So the rainfall pattern is shifting over there. That is the reason this lake is disappearing right now. That is called as Lake Chad. So what that countries, that 4 countries I told you, that 4 countries, they have a lot of new regulations and lot of plans they were implemented. The one thing which is called as air pollutant, they have concerning of these kind of regulation. Because of that, some kind of water is increasing over there in that lake, and also they have a plan that is called as Ubani River. They proposed that river to divert that water into that Lake Chad. This is proposed in 1929, but it is not still implemented, but they got it be proposed. And I told that it covers some 4 countries of territory, Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger, and as well as the Chad, the country which gets the name from that Lake Chad. You see this next news, which is called as pine needles. You know that there is one kind of pine tree which is called a chir pine, that are very popular in that Himalayan ranges. So that needles and the leaves which are taken by these local peoples, and they were making lot of utensils over there by that dried leaves and that needles, because we can store that needles and leaves throughout the year. So that is the peculiar character of this pine trees. Now let's see this. Whenever the summer comes, the pine trees which are over there in that forest, it shed their needles and the leaves. You know that there is a season which is called as autumn season. In that some kind of this deciduous forest and all, in autumn season the tree shed their leaves. That is the regular season. But while if you are seeing on that Himalayan mountain, you have a coniferous trees. That is the temperate climate. Over there in that, in this summer season only, the pine trees shed their needles and leaves over there. So what these peoples in the Solan district, they collecting that pines and that needles, and they are storing that throughout the year in Himachal Pradesh, and they are making lot of containers, jewelries, trays, etc. over there. And chir pine, you see that what are these states that we found that chir pines are? Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, and the West Bengal, Arunachal Pradesh, and also in some of the Himalayan nations just like Nepal, Bhutan and all, we can find these kind of trees. And also the highest proportionate of this chir pine you can see only in Uttarakhand. So there is a problem over there in that chir pine. What does that mean? During the summer comes, what happened? That sheds their leaves, that the pine trees shed their leaves. So it is already dried now. It leads to the fuel for forest fire. That is the major problem. That's why right now in Canada, California and all, we have that much of forest fires now, because of this is the reason. And they are making some handmade products over there in Himachal Pradesh, and this is very easily washable, and it is not that much of expensive. So that we should know about in this news. Then the next one, that is called as World Health Assembly approves draft resolution on health action plan for indigenous people. So the tribal peoples who are living over there in that forest, they are called as the indigenous peoples. Look at this. All over the world, 476 million indigenous peoples are living in 90 countries according to United Nations. You see their language, 7,000 languages they are speaking, and they have 500 different cultures over there. Normally we are also having lot of cultures in India. If you see, we have n number of cultures. Same, just like that, indigenous peoples also, they will have 500 different cultures over there. But the one thing is, see their life expectancy, they are 20 years lower than an average person. If in India, if a normal average person will have the life expectancy around of 67, they should have only 47. So this is the problem. So World Health Organization, they drafted that a global action should be there for this indigenous peoples. That is in the news. So actually, what is that real happening means, these indigenous peoples are always lack of to access of education, economic opportunity, social protection, and also water, sanitation, everything they lacks of. So that we should have to change these kind of people, so that the resolution got to be proposed over there. The next news, Jordan faced heavy floods and hailstorms. Oh, what is this hailstorms? First you should know about it. You see this mark, this is the hailstorm. You know that some ice balls which fall from the sky, that is called as the hailstorm. But actually, how this hailstorm is forming and all. Look at here, if consider the cloud, a cloud which is on here, it's a vertical cloud, vertical high cloud. Now it has more number of water which over on here. You see, it has more number of water which over on here. This cloud, that is the upper cloud, this is the when you are moving to the upper cloud, half of this upper cloud on here, this is under the freezing temperature. So when a wind which is called as updraft, when it flows on here, it will push this water to the upper layer of this cloud. This upper layer of this cloud is at the freezing temperature. Now what happens when this water is pushed by that wind, this water will become ice crystal balls like this over on this upper clouds, then it try to fall on the ground. So this is the formation of this hailstorm. Hailstorm will not happen regularly. In sometimes you will get this hailstorm. Now let's see on this flash flood. What is called as flash flood mean? You see, in a city of metros and all, suddenly if a rainfall comes, now what happened, the whole city will become that much of flood. You see this, maybe the too much of rain, that is cloud burst, may happen within 6 hours or within 3 hours or may within 1.5 hours whatsoever. There is a heavy rainfall which is there, but geographically they can say 6 hours within 3 hours when a heavy rainfall which is there. So there will be, you will be getting a flash flood. So this is the flash flood. Where is Jordan? First you should know about it. In map, if I am seeing this, Jordan is somewhere in the Asia, but I don't know where it is exactly. It is above on this Africa and below on this. You see this Arabian countries over there, Syria and over there. So there you will find that Jordan. You see that countries which are surrounded by this Jordan is Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Israel and West Bengal. So these are the countries which has the border of this Jordan. And also there is a gulf which is called as Gulf of Aqaba. The Jordan country which access the Red Sea by a gulf, that gulf which is called as Gulf of Aqaba. In Jordan you have a sea that is called as Dead Sea, but you see this Dead Sea has the border with Jordan and as well as the Israel. West Bank is on the Israel, but it has the border with Israel and as well as the Jordan. So if you see that Jordan climate, the Mediterranean, it is between more in that Mediterranean climate to the desert climate. So there is a transition climate. We saw that Sahel region, no, same just like Jordan also. So that Jordan will have that transition climate between desert and as well as the Mediterranean climate. So that's why this region is very, very arid. Suddenly if a rainfall comes, that may be a flash flood or hailstorm, so it will become flood over there in that most of the cities that's happened in that Jordan. Okay. Now next see this news. Southwest monsoon progresses after stalling for 12 days. So why this got to be delayed of this 12 days? You see this? Actually a typhoon which creates, that is called as Mawar, that in China, that's near to this China. So it got to be more intensified over this South China Sea and also this Taiwan. First you should know what are the countries which are over there in that South China Sea. You see, China, Taiwan, Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia and Brunei. So these are the countries that may access this South China Sea, and that typhoon which got created over there in that region, that is called as Mawar. We have different names. Actually typhoon means it is a cyclone, right? We have different names. In India, if a cyclone is created, it's commonly called a cyclone. But in that Pacific Ocean, east side of the Pacific Ocean and in South China Sea, if a cyclone is created, they don't say cyclone, it is called a typhoon. And near to this Australia of that Western Pacific Ocean, they are called that is called as Willy. If a cyclone which create over there in that Atlantic Ocean, which is very near to United States of America, they are called as hurricane. So these are some different names. When it is in that near to this China, Japan and all, they would call it as typhoon. So what happened means, when the cyclone is spinning over in that place, more number of winds that are attracted by the cyclone. So what happened, if that southwest monsoon which is coming over from Australia to India, that wind which is sucked by these kind of cyclones, so that is the major problem which happened. That's why we got to be delayed on these kind of because of these kind of cyclones, and because of that typhoon, it sucked more amount of that wind, of that southwest monsoon wind, no. So there is a blockage and barrier which happens over there in that Bay of Bengal. So that is the reason over there. So how the question comes on here means, we know that already there is a ocean current, local current, that is called as El Nino and La Nino, that is in the Pacific Ocean. When this El Nino local current is created, there is a delay in southwest monsoon. When a La Nino current which is created in the Pacific Ocean, we have an advancing southwest monsoon, right? By the same way, when a typhoon or a cyclone which create over there in that places and all, we have a delayed monsoon. So this is the this kind of might have a question like this. You see the next current affairs by World Health Organization. This tobacco farming which is adding a global food crisis. What is this? You see this? Around the world we have the peoples, 349 million peoples, they are in the acute shortage of food. But millions of acres are to be used for the cultivation of tobacco farming, and that land which is a fertile land. Now this World Health Organization is asking the question that why you are harming the peoples. Right now we have that much of food insecurity will be there. You are cultivating more number of tobaccos. So what is the need, and that's why they are making World No Tobacco Day on May 31st of every year. You see, in this world, tobacco which grows over 124 countries in the world, and also the government is giving their subsidies to more number of tobacco farmers. And you see this 79 countries, they are facing this acute food insecurity, and mostly the majority of this food insecurity which is on this African continent, 30 countries which are over in this African continent. But India, as a slight change of India, in Southeast Asia, we have a target in 2025 to achieve smoking reduction. So that is the target that we are going to achieve in 2025. So there you have a series of health problems in that tobacco cultivation, on that farming also, because they are using more number of pesticides, and that you know that nicotine which over there in the tobacco, no, that nicotine which is absorbed by the skin, so that will lead to cancer and lot of problems which is over there. And also when we are cultivating these kind of tobaccos, there is a contamination, water will be there, and also degradation of soil which is also there. And also you know that the tobacco smokes that pollute this environment also, so that we are facing more number of child labors and gender inequality, because this is the labor intensive crop. You should know that tobacco is a labor intensive crop. So what the farmers they are doing, they are making this child labor more on this tobacco cultivation. So it is morely labor intensive crops, and this tobacco is matured. It's take up 8 to 9 months for the matured period, and within the there is lot of problems which is over there on that tobacco. You see this, the tobaccos are cultivating in India where means Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, and also Bihar. But in this, more number of tobacco is productivity only in Gujarat, you see, and it is followed by Andhra Pradesh. The first state is tobacco, that the place that is called as Anand. You know Anand, that is the Anand milk unit, Amul is there now. So there they are producing more number of cultivating more number of tobaccos, and Karnataka, Nipani area, and Bengal and North Bihar, and also Madurai and Coimbatore, we are cultivating more number of this tobacco. But you see this, in Gujarat, they are wholly growing this BD tobaccos. Karnataka also they are making this BD tobaccos, cultivating BD tobaccos, and chewing snuff tobaccos which are cultivating over there in Bihar and Bengal, and in Madurai, Coimbatore for cigar chewing and binder filter tobaccos are making over there in Tamil Nadu and all. Now, if you see that tobacco, the mean temperature should be 20 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius mark, and the rainfall which should well distributed 500 millimeter. But there is a one thing is there, the rainfall should not be more than 1200 millimeter during that season. So if it is there, then we have the problem on tobacco. So we need only 500 millimeter of rainfall. So what are the soils we can cultivate these kind of tobacco means? Red soil, and also with the alluvial soil. Black soil also is somewhat of suitable for this tobacco, because in Coimbatore region that they are cultivating that tobacco in that black soil also. But you see that the tobacco is not directly, they are not sowing their seed directly on the land. First, there is a nursery process will be there. The seeds are to be carefully sowing over there, and then it got be transplanted to the main field. So this is the nursery. When it comes to certain height and the certain size, then they will transplant to the main field. and also there is when it grows on the field. Now it got to be transplanted when it grows on the field. Now you see this, there is a process which is called stopping. What is called stopping of tobacco means the buds will be over there. Buds mean that flower just like which has the head on here ma. So they will cut this, remove this bud, that is the flower on this kind of tobacco. That is called as stopping. And also there is some axillary buds are there. You see axillary buds means inside over there on that. So in that side over there you have a lot of axillary buds. So that buds which is also cut down, that one which is called as after topping, that is called as desuckering or suckering ma. What is called as, why we have to do this topping, desuckering or the suckering means, you see if a flower which is coming over there on that plant, that is the tobacco plant, now if you cut that buds, axillary buds, flowers and all, the energy which got be diverted through the leaves, so it will become increasing in their size and we will get a good yield over there. So this process of topping and as well as this desuckering which is important for this tobacco ma. So really what is the major time for that mean? April to May, it is the best time for nursery, and they got to be transplanted over on the period of October ma. So this is the process that we have on that tobacco. The next one, global warming pushes marine fish to polar waters. You see ma, because of that global warming, that is the temperature which is getting more, the species which are living on the land, they are also affecting, and the aquatic species that are also to be affecting over there. You see on here, in tropical ocean only we have that much of coral reefs. So there we have rich marine biodiversity, that is in the tropical and subtropical region. But if you go to the polar region of North Pole and the South Pole on this earth ma, we don't have that much of rich variety of coral reefs, and we don't have that much of rich marine biodiversity. We have only on this tropical region where the sun moves from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. So now what is happening means, because of the global warming, whatever the fish population which are over there in that tropical region, that are to be pushed over to this North Pole and the South Pole, that is to the temperate region ma. By the way, the marine life have 7 times faster to warming environment than the terrestrial animals. This is true. They are only mostly affected when we are comparing to the terrestrial animals ma. Then the next is legislated genocide. That Brazil, they have one new bill, but that triggers over there in that tribal land and the tribal area. What is that? So they will have a massive protest over there in that Brazilian country ma. So from this news we can get it. There is a people, indigenous tribal peoples in Brazil, that is called as Guarani peoples. And they are the indigenous peoples for that South America. South America means not only in the Brazil ma, Paraguay, Bolivia, Argentina, Brazil, these are the native places of this Guarani peoples, and they have their own language which is called as Guarani language ma. You see, that's why in Paraguay if you go there, 2 official languages are there. One is Guarani language and other one is Spanish language. So traditionally these peoples were living on that Parana river and the Paraguay river, which is there in that southern America. So this you should know about, who are called as the Guarani people. So they only come out from their land and they will make that slogan songs and all against of these kind of bills. So you should know about who are called as this people, that is called as Guarani peoples. They are in the Brazil. Now look at on here. Zambia government renews commitment to end obstetric fistula by 2030. Now, this is news will be there, but we should know about the Zambia. You see this, when you are looking to this Zambia, that is in Africa, what are the countries which have the border with Zambia? Angola, Botswana, Democratic Republic of Congo, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Tanzania, and also Zimbabwe. So 8 countries has the border with this Zambia. Then see this news, deluge in Spain continues, could still face its driest summer in over 6 decades. You see, this is the news, but you should know about of all these kind of places. You see, if you see in Spain, there is that much of heat, that is the summer heat which got created over in that Spain, that is the driest summer in over the 6 decades. You see this, the place which are affected by this summer, which is the driest month. You know that Madrid is the capital of that Spain, Andalusia, Alicante, Barcelona, Ibiza, Valencia. So these are the places which are over on here, which get more affected by the summer hot month. So these are the geographical way you should approach these kind of current affairs. So we will continue on the next. Thank you.